Hi everyone, I'm here in Salt Lake City today, and this is such a joy and a treat for me. Of course, everyone knows I'm with Asea, and it's been a product that has changed our life and changed thousands and thousands of people since we've been involved in the company the last 7 years. But today is a real treat because I'm sitting with Marlon Toombs. And Marlon has been involved before the inception of before it was ever Asea. In 1991, he started this he was involved in a startup company, and I'm going to turn it over to him so he can tell you his story. He's been drinking these molecules, again, before it was ever Asea, since 1991. And I've got to tell you, you're 86, is that right, Marlon?
Yeah, that is correct.
86. I'm going to go home and drink more of my Asea as soon as I can. So, Marlon, just tell us more of the story.
Well, it's a long story, and so I can't tell everything in 2 minutes, but all I can tell you is that I have and was the first individual to start drinking this product. And the reason was, in the beginning, the first original company was a medical company attempting to go public and wanted to go through the Food and Drug Administration to get the product approved. So we relied on the medical doctor that we were working with to get this approval. And as we got doing research, we knew we had to prove that it wouldn't kill anybody. They had to be safe. So we did our toxicology studies to prove that it was good. So when we went to the laboratories to get the results, the head technician at the laboratory testing the product says, wow, this is really something. And then he wanted to be involved with us in the product. He wanted to leave that company and come on board. Well, we were just new, so anyway, there was a lot of things that happened to get this company off the ground and go through the FDA to make sure it was all legit. And so one thing led to another, and over a period of 15 years, we realized that the FDA would not approve us unless we had or at least $1 billion.
Wow.
Because every time we would do something, they would say, wow, that was great, but we forgot to have you do this. And in fact, I had one of the Congressman Hansen, who I went to personally and asked him if he could help me get through the FDA and who I should talk to. So what happened was he gave me the name of an individual he knew personally because he was back in Washington, D.C. So he gave me the name of this person. I called this person on the phone and told him my story of what we were doing and what we had to do to go through the FDA and not get in trouble. Well, after I spent 45 minutes with him, he says, oh, well, you need to see this man. This is the person you need to see. Well, what happened was, I went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individuals, and guess who the 5th one was? The first one. So I'd gone the loop with all these people from the FDA telling me what we should do. So we just kind of lost discouraged. We got very discouraged. And so we realized that if we can't raise that kind of money, so why can't we make a drink out of it? We've run tests in 17 different approved laboratories by the FDA, and they all found everything was really good. Well, this one doctor in Washington, that's in Richland, or up in the state of Washington. Anyway, he said you could drink this. And Dan Robinson, the inventor, really went up there and met with him, and I asked the doctor if we could drink it and it would be safe. And he says, oh yeah. But he says, you could drink a gallon of it in one day and it wouldn't kill you, but I don't know why you'd want to. So anyway, that's what happened, and so I started drinking, and nobody else in the company would. That was in 1991. Actually, I'll say 92 because we were back and forth. 92 is when I consistently decided to prove it to myself, nobody else would, if and what would happen to me. Well, as a result, over 27 years now, this is the 27th year that I've been drinking Asea. First name wasn't Asea, but nevertheless.
And it was Medical Discoveries Inc.
It was Medical Discoveries at that time. Anyway, I found out the very first thing that happened was so obvious was I used to get cold sores. It didn't sound like a big deal, but I'd get a cold sore, and it'd take me 3 weeks to heal it up, and I'd go for a week or two, and boom, it'd pop out again. And I went through this for years and years, going to doctors, and finally it just says, Marlon, you just got to live with it. So after I started drinking Asea, it wasn't even 30 days. I just never had a cold sore. And it went on, and the reason I thought, well, maybe it was just something that I was lucky on. So I quit drinking Asea for a period of 3 weeks. Boom, cold sore pops up. So then I drink Asea for several months, and it wasn't long until I realized I had a wart on my finger, and it had it for 20 years. All of a sudden it was gone. So I had a granddaughter that had a bunch of warts on her arm, and I said, drink this product for 30 days and let's see what happens. Went away. I had a businessman in Brigham City, and I was talking to him one day in the office, and he had a big wart on one of his fingers, and I said, do you want to get rid of it? And he says, you can't. And I said, well, I'm going to bring you something over and you just try it. So he tried it. In 2 weeks he called me. He says, Marlon, what is that stuff? I said, it's called Asea. And he said, well, that wart is gone, and it's never happened to me. Well, this I have experimented on myself. And because of the experiments I did, and we had work being done in laboratories to prove it was safe, then I got really excited because, hey, my health started improving. I've been drinking this product now this is the 27th year, and I find new things all the time. But I just want to relate one obvious thing that happened to me only just 5 years ago, and I say 5 years ago. If anyone has ever had a kidney stone, you know the pain that you have to suffer until that stone is removed or passes. And I got hit in the back with a terrible pain on a Friday afternoon, and my wife and I says, you know, it's got to be a kidney stone, because we had 2 friends that had them. And they says, well, you better go to the hospital. And I says, no, I'm the kind of a guy that will experiment on something. So Dr. Chi told me that we could drink a gallon a day. So I thought, well, before I go to the hospital, I was on a Friday. If you go to the hospital, they'll throw you in a bed till Monday, and then the doctor comes in and sees you. And you got to suffer through that pain. So during this period of time, I'm going to drink Asea until I go in to see the doctor on Monday. So I start drinking 8 ounces every hour on the hour. On the 16th hour, I just finished the gallon. And all of a sudden, it's just like you turned the light off. The pain stopped. That was 5 years ago. All I did was drink a lot of Asea. So there's many other things that I've experienced over the years. Like I say, I've been drinking this is the 27th year, and there's so many stories I could tell you that's happened to me personally. So nobody's telling this to me. It happened to me, and that's why I'm excited about it, because it's a great product. It does everything that the scientists say it'll do, and the company is a great company. And all I say is, a lot of people say, why do you want to drink Asea? And I said, well, why do you want to stay healthy? If you want to stay healthy, drink Asea. But it doesn't mean you can go out and drink everything and do all the bad things you're not supposed to do. You have to, live a pretty good health life besides. But Asea is a phenomenal product. I love it. And my family is healthier.
That's amazing.
As a result of it. Thank you.
Of course, Asea is not a treatment or a cure for any condition, disease, or malady. But when our 75 trillion cells start to work and communicate correctly, it's amazing what happens. And in those years where you were headed down an FDA path, there were how many millions of dollars did you spend on research?
Yeah, $16 million.
$16 million in research.
Well, the reason we quit too is because you can't keep taking money from people without giving something back.
Right.
And so that's why I thought, well, if we can drink it, I started drinking it. So
right.
If we could drink it, why not go sell enough to pay for the research?
Right. And during that time, you put how many patents on the product?
We developed 21 patents.
21 patents during that time. And now, through the years, they've had over 31 now, right?
That's correct.
And since it's become Asea, you've just seen, isn't it wonderful? It's got to be so fulfilling for you to see this product that you were so passionate about changing lives in 30 open countries now.
Yeah, my heart just goes out to all these people that are drinking it because they had the courage to try it. And when you try something, don't stop for a minimum of 6 months. Give it 6 months. And I have so many more stories.
I bet you. You guys, he's told me some stories, just life-changing stories of people that he's known and loved to care about, that these molecules have changed their lives forever. And, you know, Marlon, it's so great to sit here with you because I'm profoundly grateful to you because being part of this company has been one of the greatest joys of our life, to be able to make a difference for so many people who will never even know our name. And there's so many of you who are watching who might not even know who this incredible man is. Of course, we all know about Vertus and Tyler, but these are the stories that happened long before it was ever Asea. But I just wanted to give you more validation and more credibility, and the stories and the passion. These men worked tirelessly on this product for how many years again?
15.
15 years before it ever became Asea, because they knew this product was going to make dramatic results in people's health and well-being, their physical performance, and of course now that it is distributed this way, comparative by the FDA, you know, by a doctor's prescription, it's changing people's lives financially around the globe as well. That's got to make you feel good too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everyone, you might want to get this out to some friends and family, but what an incredible, meaningful time for me to get to sit here with this man who, again, is really the one of the reasons that we are all here drinking Asea. So, Marlon, it was a great pleasure meeting with you today.
Nice
Thank
to meet
you.
you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.